I threw it away because it looked awful. Haha. I did it for you. Haha. Huh? I was dumbfounded by what was said. My boss, Mark Anderson, usually bullies me and subordinates. Until now, I had tolerated it, but this time, I couldn't forgive him. He really threw away the lunch that my precious wife had prepared for me. That lousy-looking lunch, right? The one full of vegetables, so pathetically poor. Eating stuff like that won't give you any strength. A man should eat meat. This was for your own good. Your life is over. Unaware of my anger, Mark continued, and I coldly informed him. It was time to make him realize whose lunch he had thrown away. Why is the lunch my daughter made in the trash? Daughter. At that moment, Chairman Hayes, who happened to pass by, turned pale and approached us. And with this incident as a turning point, this bullying boss began his well-deserved downfall. I am Jason, a 27-year-old employee. I have a wife, Sarah, who is a homemaker. Sarah and I got married last year, the typical newlyweds. Sarah, you look cute today. Stop it. I can't help but find my wife, who is 3 years younger, adorable. Every time I call her cute, Sarah smiles shyly. Even that I find adorable. I don't want to go to work, I want to be with Sarah. Jason, you have to go to work, you know. I inadvertently trouble Sarah with such remarks. Sarah gently soothes me and sends me off, for which I am truly grateful. Because of her, I managed to get off work. I made a delicious lunch, so do your best. Whenever I complain about not wanting to go to work, Sarah hands me a homemade lunch. Thank you as always. I'll look forward to lunch and do my best. I take it and leave. Honestly, my feet are heavy heading to work. But for Sarah, who waits for my return, I go to work. In fact, I had a concern that I hadn't yet shared with my wife Sarah. If you have time to talk nonsense, get to work. All you guys are good for is working. The newly assigned Mark, with his sarcasm and harassment, has created the worst atmosphere in the department. Dumping his own work on subordinates was a matter of course. He would impose unreasonable tasks and then shout, "Too slow, you're dumb, can't you do anything right?" The relentless harassment was causing physical and mental distress among the employees. Everyone was on edge because of Mark's daily yelling. In such an atmosphere, we all were becoming increasingly exhausted. Jason, come here. It seemed today's target was me. I was about to be irrationally scolded by Mark. Jason, why haven't you prepared the materials for today's meeting? I was suddenly yelled at by Mark, taken aback. Meeting materials? What was he talking about? I hadn't received any instructions to prepare such materials. Besides, I hadn't even heard about a meeting today. Being proactive is the basic principle of a working professional. Upon telling him the facts, he started spouting nonsense. Being proactive, if he thinks so, why couldn't he prepare it himself? How am I supposed to prepare for a meeting I didn't even know existed? Have the materials ready for the meeting starting at 1:30 p.m. So he said, and I checked the time. It was around 11 a.m. now. Looks like I would have to skip lunch break to get this work done. Reluctantly, I started working on the materials. This meeting required past documents, so I gathered what I needed and secluded myself in the records room. At 12:30 p.m., during lunch break, I thought I could just make it in time and return to my desk. What? It's gone. Why? But my precious lunch was missing. I searched in my bag, on my desk, in the surrounding area, but the lunch was nowhere to be found. I definitely received it in the morning and came to work with it, so it couldn't just disappear. What are you looking around for, Jason? There was Mark, smirking as he approached me. Have you finished preparing the documents? I've gathered all the necessary materials, so I just need to put them together. Seemingly dissatisfied with my response, Mark clicked his tongue but soon smirked again. Looking for something. My lunchbox is missing, I answered honestly when he asked. Oh, that. I threw it away. What? I threw it away because it looked awful. I did it for you. Huh? I involuntarily raised my voice in disbelief. What did he just say? He threw away my lunch. That pathetic lunch, full of vegetables and looking poor. Eating that won't give you any strength. A man should eat meat. I did it thinking of your well-being. Mark began smirking as he spoke. I was so angry I felt like I could explode. I could feel my clenched fists trembling. Your life is over. Huh? It was then, as I coldly confronted Mark, that someone interrupted. Excuse me for a moment. Oh, Chairman Hayes. Chairman Hayes walked in at that moment. His face was ashen, and he was holding a wrapped item in his hand. I recognized the wrapping. It was the wrap for the lunchbox I had brought. That's my lunchbox. Thank you. Where did you find it? I asked as I received the lunchbox. It was in the trash can in the hallway. He really threw it away. Upon hearing Chairman Hayes' answer, I looked at Mark. Well, Mark's face turned pale at the arrival of Chairman Hayes, but he tried to cover it up with a forced smile. Did you, by any chance, throw away Jason's lunch? For what reason? Jason always brings his lunch, but it always looked unappetizing, so I was worried. I thought it would be terrible if he fell eating such food. It's unfortunate if someone is bad at cooking, but it's better to make a lunch that looks more appealing. It was out of kindness, you see. Mark tried to justify his actions. Unappetizing, bad at cooking, such words reignited the anger I had been trying to suppress. It seemed Chairman Hayes felt the same way. As I was about to speak in anger, Chairman Hayes gestured for me to be quiet and began speaking calmly. It seems you have a sophisticated hobby of peeking into others' lunches and criticizing them. Chairman Hayes coldly uttered his sarcastic remark. Mark grimaced in response. He always eats it so proudly, it's hard not to notice. I would brag too, if my beautiful, lovely, and wonderful wife woke up early in the morning to make me such a lunch. I found myself reflexively responding to Mark's words. That's how much I treasure Sarah. Be quiet, Chairman Hayes said, smiling wryly, signaling me to stop. Yes, sorry. I apologized internally, and then Chairman Hayes turned his gaze back to Mark. What about Jason's lunch made you think it looked unappetizing? Little meat, mostly vegetables. The rice was brown, and it looked messy. Mark responded disparagingly to Chairman Hayes' inquiry. If Chairman Hayes hadn't been there, I might have punched him. I see. Then let me make something clear. Huh? Make clear? Mark looked confused. He was obviously unaware that he had made an enemy of a significant person. The person who gets up early in the morning to make this lunch with all her effort is my daughter. Jason is my daughter's husband. Why is my daughter's lunch in the trash? Daughter. Mark stood dumbfounded as the truth was revealed. It's Sarah. I'm starting work here from today. Hello. I look forward to working with you. I met my wife Sarah when she joined the company. As a new employee, she began working without revealing she was the chairman's daughter. I was assigned to be her mentor. Sarah, you're quick to learn. Is that so? Thank you. I took good care of her, not just as a mentor but as a senior colleague. Sarah was a capable new employee and soon needed little help. Then, one time, Sarah made a mistake at work. This is my fault for not supervising properly. I apologize. I apologized alongside her and worked hard to rectify the mistake. Eventually, we managed to fix it and celebrated our hard work. Jason, I'm really sorry for this time. It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes as a new employee. Just be careful not to repeat the same mistake. When you become a senior, Help your juniors if they're in trouble. That's the secret to a successful company, as I was taught by my seniors. Later, I learned that Sarah was impressed by what I said that day. From then on, our relationship grew closer. Sarah, about this copy. Yes, what about it? It looks like you got the front and back mixed up. The paper came out blank. Oh, I'm so sorry. I always thought Sarah, who seemed competent yet somewhat naive and clueless about the world, needed someone to look after her. I found myself instinctively watching over her, ready to help at any moment. Sarah, you should drink more. Hey, seniors, don't just bother the young lady. Pay some attention to me too. At company drinking parties, I would shield Sarah from being pressured to drink too much, sometimes getting drunk myself in the process. Sarah grew fond of me and would report to me whenever something happened. Jason, I found a nice restaurant the other day. Would you like to go with me? If it's Sarah's recommendation, definitely. Our conversations ranged from work to personal matters. Our dinners progressed from a few times a month to once a week. Gradually, our relationship grew closer. Jason and Sarah really make a great couple. They only have eyes for each other. There's no room for anyone else. It's nice to be close, but don't make out at work. Before we knew it, we were an officially recognized couple within the company. Then, one day, Chairman Hayes approached me. You're Jason, right? Yes, that's me. I need to talk to you. Come with me. Not understanding why Chairman Hayes wanted to speak with me, I followed him, worried about what I might have done. Dad. I looked in the direction of the voice and saw Sarah. Dad, what's going on? Do you need something from Jason? Yes, well, it's something that concerns Sarah as well. Come along. That was when I first learned that Sarah was the chairman's only daughter. Sarah is the chairman's daughter. I kept it a secret. I didn't want to be seen as the chairman's daughter. I wanted to work as a regular employee. I'm sorry for hiding it until now. She had apparently gone through the interview process without revealing her identity as the chairman's daughter. And thus, she was hired as Sarah and assigned to my department. Indeed, if everyone knew she was the chairman's daughter, they would have treated her differently. I might have also cared for her in a different way. Sarah is an excellent employee who delivers results in her work, regardless of being the chairman's daughter. Really? Thank you. Well, she's a bit of a scatterbrain, though. That is, I'm trying to improve, but you didn't have to say that in front of my father. As I shared my honest opinion, Sarah smiled happily. I was drawn to her smile, even as I inadvertently said something extra. It was our usual banter, but this time, it wasn't her colleagues who were nearby, but her father, Chairman Hayes. Realizing this, I looked at Chairman Hayes, who had a stern expression. It's too early for marriage. I won't allow it. I was stunned by Chairman Hayes' words. Indeed, I was aware of my feelings for Sarah, but Sarah and I are not dating. When I clarified that we weren't even dating yet, Chairman Hayes looked surprised. It turned out that there were rumors at the company that Sarah and I were about to get married, and Chairman Hayes had come to lay down the law after hearing them. In reality, our close interactions had led people to believe the rumors were true, so he had addressed the topic of marriage. But I do think Sarah is a wonderful woman, and I would like to date her. Seizing the opportunity, I declared my intentions to Chairman Hayes and then turned to Sarah. Sarah, will you go out with me? At first, Sarah looked surprised by my proposal. I've never seen someone propose in front of their parent before. Indeed. Jason, you're too much, Sarah said, bursting into laughter. I couldn't help but join her in laughter. Fine, do as you like. Chairman Hayes finally gave in, seemingly disarmed by his daughter's reaction. Soon after, I received a positive response from Sarah, and we started dating. The fact that we weren't actually dating until then surprised many at the company. "You were giving off such a sweet vibe, and you weren't even dating," they would say. When I admitted it was all unconscious, my colleagues teased me mercilessly. After a while, we decided to get married. "It's too soon," he exclaimed. While everyone said we were taking too long, Chairman Hayes was the only one opposed. "No matter if it's 5 years or 20 years, you're going to say the same thing, right? No matter how many years pass, Dad will always say it's too soon for marriage. If I listen to him every time, I'll never get married." Sarah and her mother brushed him official. I remember Chairman Hayes looking flustered and isolated. "I think Jason is a fine young man, but marriage might still be too soon." "If you think he's a good person, then just accept it," Sarah's mother said. "If you're going to be so mean, I won't let you hold your grandchild," Sarah added. Well, there, you two." Chairman Hayes was so flustered that I found myself stepping in to mediate. His wife sure is a strong person. My mother also had a way of keeping my father in check. Is it a case of strong mothers, perhaps? Anyway, after persistently appealing to Chairman Hayes, he finally gave his blessing for our marriage last year. Half a year later, we had our wedding. "If Dad had accepted sooner, we could have been married earlier," Sarah lamented. "Well, it just shows how precious you are to him," I replied. "The company accepted us before your own father did." I occasionally have drinks with Chairman Hayes in private. It seems that intervening back then worked out in my favor. "It's a relief. Women in my family are stronger than me," he commented at a drinking session. This helped me establish a reasonably close relationship with Chairman Hayes. "Sorry, Jason. Don't worry about it. Take your time learning." Sarah wasn't very skilled at household chores. Having lived at her parents' house all her life, where her mother, a homemaker, did all the household chores, Sarah never had to do them herself. She had only ever helped out a bit, and since I had a long history of living alone, I was actually better at housework. "Thank you, but I feel bad leaving everything to Jason. I need to learn quickly." Despite this, Sarah earnestly began learning to manage the household. Even so, her cooking skills didn't improve much. It turned black again. "Well, that's common at the beginning. Don't worry, let's try adjusting the heat a little next time." Thus, she practiced by getting up early to make lunch. Every morning, the lunch she handed me was the result of her efforts. Indeed, it was mostly vegetables, but the once messy dishes were now neatly arranged, and the once burnt omelet, even if slightly crumbled, now looked appetizingly yellow. Sarah is improving day by day with her persistent efforts. Every day, she studies cooking and researches how to make it better. Knowing her efforts, I couldn't forgive Mark for his words. "How can you say such things without considering the effort of the person who made it? What, are you some kind of critic?" Chairman Hayes also knew of his daughter's efforts in cooking. He mentioned buying her cooking books and recording videos of his wife cooking for her. She did not have any knowledge of housework. He seemed to feel guilty about it. It was typical of Chairman Hayes to have kept her sheltered, not even letting her handle a knife because it was dangerous. She told me, "I've improved, so I want Dad to try it too. I'm really looking forward to eating it," he said, genuinely excited about receiving her lunch someday. However, preparing lunch for two was still a burden for Sarah, who was not yet accustomed to cooking. Chairman Hayes himself didn't want to put undue pressure on her. Therefore, once a week, she made an extra portion for her father, which I delivered during my lunch break. Today wasn't one of those days, but he sometimes came by to check on us. He apparently found my lunchbox in the trash on his way here. I didn't know that. Upon hearing our story, Mark started to make excuses. "You think just because you didn't know, it's okay to throw away someone's lunch?" Chairman Hayes shouted at him. His loud voice drew the attention of everyone around. This is a good opportunity. I have something to ask everyone. Seizing the moment with the gathering crowd, Chairman Hayes addressed them. I heard Mark has been harassing Jason, a subordinate. Has anyone else been harassed by him or witnessed it? Speak up, now's the time. The employees exchanged glances, unsure. I was pushed to do extra work by Mark. Eventually, one employee, as if having made up their mind, spoke up. Following that, other employees also began to speak up one after another. He made me run errands to the grocery store, and he didn't pay for it. He dumped urgent work on me right before leaving. Mark made me cover for his mistakes. One after another, Mark's wrongdoings came to light. Almost everyone there had experienced his harassment. They used the opportunity to voice their complaints to Chairman Hayes. So, how will you explain this? Asked by Chairman Hayes, Mark glared at his subordinates. But he was outnumbered. Intimidated by their stares, Mark was pressured into silence. I, too, glared at him. Mark, hand over your work immediately and take a leave of absence. Your punishment will be decided later, Chairman Hayes declared. Mark knelt down on the spot, utterly dumbfounded, hanging his head in defeat. No one approached or spoke to him in that moment. Afterward, he left the scene as if his soul had departed from him. I picked up the lunchbox that had been thrown in the trash. Fortunately, the lunchbox, wrapped in a cloth, wasn't dirty. Relieved, I sat at my desk and opened the lunchbox. Let's eat. And I began to eat. Jason, Chairman Hayes and the other employees looked at me in surprise. I smiled at everyone. It's fine. I don't want to waste what my wife made because of such nonsense. With that, I continued eating my lunch. Yes, the lunch Sarah had worked hard to make was truly delicious. Ha ha ha, you really are something. Chairman Hayes watched me with a smile. His smile seemed to spread to the other employees, as they too chuckled softly. Welcome home, Jason. Yeah, I'm back. When I got home, Sarah greeted me with a smile. I heard you had a tough day, well done. You know about it. I was a bit surprised at her remark. Your father called and told me everything. Thank you for eating the lunch. According to Sarah, Chairman Hayes had called her and explained everything. About Mark, and how I ate the lunch that was once thrown away. And that he said, you married a good manual. I was taken aback by those words. Chairman Hayes, a man shy of praise, would never say such things directly to me. That's great. Well, yeah. I couldn't hide my joy at receiving such rare praise from my father-in-law. I hope he's starting to recognize me a bit. I placed my hand on Sarah's belly. I need to work hard as a father too. And I muttered to myself. There was a tiny life growing inside Sarah's belly. In fact, we were expecting twins. She had severe morning sickness and was at risk of a miscarriage, so she had quit her job. Mark had been assigned to the company after she had resigned. Now in the stable period, she wanted to move her body and was actively doing housework. I worry about her, but I also believe it's important not to be overly protective, so I let her do things her way. Thank you, as always, Sarah. I'm the one who should be thanking you. I'm truly grateful to my wife for making lunches every day, especially considering her condition during pregnancy. When I express my gratitude, Sarah responds with a smile. Her cooking skills are still a bit shaky, but they're improving. What happened, Sarah? I think I got the water ratio wrong. The rice is all mushy. We could cook it again, but let's make it into a porridge this time. Sometimes she still gets the rice-water ratio wrong. After dinner, we enjoy a quiet, peaceful time together. I wonder how much cuter they will be when they are born, considering how adorable they are now. As I laugh, Sarah laughs too. It's going to be tough, but that also means twice the cuteness and happiness. Twice the fun and joy too. We talked about various things for our future. I thought it was a very happy time. I believe our future will surely be a happy one. Meanwhile, Mark faced a grim fate. After the incident, Mark was judged to be malevolent and demoted to a branch office. That branch was rumored to have a heavy workload, and he had to start new from the bottom. But since he had always dumped his work on his subordinates, he was nearly incompetent himself. He resigned after being weakened mentally by daily scolding from a younger boss and by the intense workload. The mistreatment he had meted out to his subordinates came back to haunt him. It was a fitting example of reaping what you sow. Chairman Hayes was determined to prevent Mark from ever facing us again, so I'll likely never see him again. Incidentally, I was appointed to fill the now vacant managerial position. If Jason is the boss, we can feel secure. Thank you, I'll do my best. I plan to take lessons from Mark's example and cherish my subordinates. With his departure, the atmosphere in the department improved significantly. Everyone could work more energetically, without fear. However, I'm now in a position of responsibility. There is a weight to it, but I can overcome it thanks to Sarah's lunches, which she prepares while waiting for my return. Sarah, you did so well. We have cute and healthy twins. Time passed, and Sarah safely gave birth to twins. They were a boy and a girl, both incredibly cute. Both sets of grandparents came to celebrate the birth. Both are so cute. Absolutely. My parents complimented how cute the twins were and comforted Sarah. They also advised me to support Sarah firmly. Adorable, adorable. Really, you. Chairman Hayes was completely enamored with his grandchildren. His wife, while comforting Sarah, had a bittersweet smile on her face. Dad, Sarah seemed a bit overwhelmed by her father's reaction. I smiled, feeling blissful amidst my happy family. I'm really glad that these people are my family. Let's name them Nathan and Emily. Yes, let's give them lots of love. Sarah and I want to show our children the same love our parents showed us. We want to play a lot with them, learn a lot together, and create many memories. We want to shower them with love every day so they can always be happy and smiling. I think that's also a way of showing filial piety. From now on, Sarah, Nathan, Emily, and I will create a family full of laughter. Just like our parents and in-laws showered us with love, we will pour our love into these children. As I say this, our parents nod with smiles. I can truly feel how happy I am right now. I want to firmly protect this happiness. When I go to work, everyone congratulates me. When I inadvertently show them photos of the kids, everyone says how cute they are. Don't brag about their cuteness at work, okay? Yeah, especially since Mark left, you've been bragging about how cute your wife is. I'm sorry about that, I reply with a wry smile. Right, I should restrain myself from now on. With Mark gone, the atmosphere became warm enough to joke around. In this environment, I'll work hard for Sarah and our 2 children. I'm home. Welcome back. Returning home, I'm greeted by the 3 of them. At home, I'm actively involved in child care. Taking care of twins is indeed twice as hard. But the joy is also double. During the day, both Sarah's mother and my mother often come to help. We're really grateful for their help. That's true, but as a dad, I need to take care of them too. Don't overdo it, you're working hard too. Don't overdo it yourself, Sarah. We chat like this while changing diapers. As a couple, we need to work together. By the way, our fathers are also helping out a lot. They actively hold and comfort the babies. Moreover, they bring so many things when they visit that we hardly have to buy anything ourselves. Oh, look, more diapers have been bought. Yes, your father brought them with both hands full. I'm truly grateful. Grateful, but it's a bit weird how much they dote on the grandkids. Sarah is still quite strict with her father. I understand the feeling of doting, and maybe I should have a chat with him about it sometime. They really are adorable. Truly, I wonder what kind of adults they'll become. Our beloved children sleep peacefully. Together with Sarah, I gently stroke them. I want to protect them. I truly felt this from the bottom of my heart. Our little ones are still fragile. Their future holds countless possibilities. They might become salarymen like me. Or perhaps athletes or doctors. The possibilities for their future are endless. I want to do what's necessary to protect their futures. But they're surely going to be kind children. Because you, Jason, are kind, and if they take after me, they might be a bit clumsy. That's not true. If they're like Sarah, they'll be strong-willed, though maybe a bit absent-minded. Oh you, I've gotten much better than before. Sarah laughs at my words, and her smile brightens up. I think about how we should continue to support each other and laugh together as a family.